All right, welcome everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Essential Wellness Education. We're going to talk about GI health tonight. I'm Kathy Badel, and I've been using essential oils since 2012. I got started mainly because I wanted to work with my kids more naturally, in a more natural way than I grew up, and just had a chance to learn a little bit about oils from a friend. And since I had been dealing with some health issues, I really tuned into all of the presentation that was presented. It was very thorough, the fact that oils could work with the body in a number of ways. And my personal experience with autoimmune disease just really kind of tweaked my ears, because they were talking a lot about, you know, helping the body heal itself and working with inflammation and things like that. So from there, I jumped right in. I tried them out on myself first, had a lot of great successes. And some of my early successes were actually with GI issues, because as you can imagine, someone who had been dealing with lots of painkillers and steroids for a long period of time, my tummy was not quite in a good place. So I had a lot of foods I couldn't eat. And when I started using the doTERRA oils, particularly the Digest Zen product line, I never knew I could feel so good. So this is what started me on my path of educating other people about natural health and wellness and essential oils. And so here we are. Looks like Roxy has joined us.
Am I on there?
Yeah. Hi, Roxy.
Okay. I was going to say, because I couldn't see nobody, so I didn't know if I was on there or not.
Can you see the slides?
Do what?
Can you see the slide?
Yep, I think I see it.
Yeah, it says.
Now I see it. I made it bigger.
Okay, good. Good. Mel, can you see everything? Hi, Mel.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yes, I can.
Thanks for joining us.
Oh, you're welcome. I just got out from the garden.
I was doing the same thing. It's a great night for it.
Yeah, I was watering my flowers. I just came in from watering my flowers.
Yep. Awesome. Well, I am recording tonight, so I'm going to mute you guys, and I will open it up at the end if you guys have any specific questions. Sound good?
Yep.
All right, so what are essential oils? Essential oils are volatile aromatic compounds extracted from and distilled from plants. A great example, of course, is peppermint. I think we're all familiar with that. If you've come across that, you know, in your flower beds or out in the garden, you know that you brush your hand up against peppermint, you smell that right away. And that's because there are little oil sacs on the bottom of the peppermint leaf, as you can see in that magnified image there. That's a depiction of those oil sacs. So those are the oils that are being steam distilled that we get from the peppermint plant. A lot of the herbs work like that in getting that kind of an oil out of the plant. So when we talk about essential oils, that's what we're talking about. My slide doesn't want to advance. Hang on. So people want to know how concentrated are essential oils. And so I like to give the example of peppermint tea. So peppermint tea versus a drop of peppermint oil. A drop of peppermint oil would be about 28 cups of peppermint tea. So that's kind of the equivalent if you're going to try to figure out, well, how does that look? So if you've ever had tea, you see the little bit of oil on the top of the tea, and that's what you're getting there is an essential oil. But with a distilled oil, it's just much more concentrated. And the oils will affect us on a cellular level because they're lipophilic. They can absorb through the cell membrane. So they're very effective in working outside the cell and as well as inside the cell. And doTERRA's oils are certified pure therapeutic grade. They set the bar for purity and potency. They're tested very strictly several times throughout the process before it gets to the customer. We're sourced worldwide, and we're, of course, free from contaminants and pesticides because of those testing procedures. They make sure that every batch is tested rigorously to ensure that you're getting a consistent result over time. In fact, a lot of hospitals are now using doTERRA oils because of that strict adherence to guidelines. And the other thing I want to mention about doTERRA's oil specifically is that we use a global network. We've got artisans and growers that work sustainably out there in the harvesting and growing processes, and they work within the local economies so that we're also making sure that these communities across the world are thriving. Anyone that's really interested in digging more into that, I encourage them to go to www.source2u.com. It's spelled out SOURCEPOYOU. And it's a really great website, and it also includes a place where you can look up every single batch of essential oil. So for example, on the bottom of every oil, there's a serial number. And so if you want to geek out, you can type that number into the Source2U website and get the reports that show you exactly every constituent that's in each batch of oil and at what level. All right, so let's get into the GI system. I like this picture just because it shows all the different parts of the GI tract, beginning with the mouth, the tongue, the oral cavity, down the esophagus to the stomach, all the way through the small intestines, large intestines, and out the other end. So we've got a lot of stuff going on from start to finish there. So what does the GI system do? Basically, it breaks down our foods and gets it down into the parts that we need for our body to function properly. Factors of GI health: we want to have a healthy lifestyle, we want to make good food choices, we want to supplement appropriately, and essential oils are a great contribution to overall gut health. So there are many benefits of a healthy GI tract. If we're healthy, it reduces normal discomforts associated with digestion, so heartburn, gas, bloating, diarrhea, constipation, nausea, all of those things. If we're healthy, we're going to have a lot less of that going on. It also improves our nutritional status. So the less things that are going wrong, the more chances you are of having better absorption of the food you're eating. And then, of course, if you've got a healthy GI tract, you'll have a healthier immune system, because our microflora is connected to our immune system. It really is about, and 80% of our immune system is found in our gut. So we've got a healthy balance in our gut, we're going to have a healthy immune system. The other thing that we know is that the brain and the GI tract is connected, and the neurotransmitters that are within our GI tract also, work in there, are produced in the GI tract and go back and forth to the brain and helps with our mood and emotional status. So it's a big deal to have a GI tract that's functioning properly. So when it comes to a healthy gut, we've got two things. We've got the daily support that we need to do, the things that we need to do on a daily basis to make sure that we are doing the right things to keep things properly going. And then we also have options when it comes to we've messed up or we've been exposed to something, what we can do to help alleviate those issues. So one of the basic things that we can do to keep our gut healthy is to make sure we're getting proper nutrition. And I like to mention our doTERRA Lifelong Vitality Pack here because it's got 3 components. It's got a multivitamin, which is the MVP. It's got an omega complex, and you can get this in a fish oil complex, or we've got a vegan plant-based complex. And it's got all of the plant oils and omegas that you need for brain inflammation support, all of that. And then alpha CRS is a cellular vitality complex that helps with proper cell growth and development and cellular energy. But these supplements are also unique in the fact that there are some digestive enzymes included in that MVP product, so that you are able to break everything down. And these supplements are food-based, so your body recognizes them as food, and they get into the body. And the other thing I like about these is that they are not a mega vitamin. So some people actually need a lot of vitamin mineral support, but if you're eating a fairly healthy diet and you just need a little boost, these are wonderful additional supplements that are not going to go crazy above what you would need. So you'll see on the back of these bottles, you know, they're within like the 100 to 200% of the daily allowance, whereas some of the mega supplements at the mega stores, you'll see, you know, 1,000% of this, 1,000% of that, which, you know, a lot of people don't necessarily need. So I like the fact that you can take these and get that, and your body's recognizing these as food. So that being said, we also have an entire product line based on digestive health. And this is just kind of an overall picture of what we've got here. The first thing I want to talk about is TerraZyme. So our food today is not as fresh as it used to be. We don't necessarily grow it in our backyard. Some of us do, but in Indiana, you're not going to necessarily have garden with fresh food and vegetables like year round. So as you harvest a vegetable, the enzymes within that food die over time. So the naturally occurring food enzymes are reduced by the time you're eating them. So it makes it a little harder for the body to digest. Of course, your GI tract produces some of its own enzymes to digest food, but overall, just our lifestyle in today's world is just a little bit harder for us to get what we need to break down our food. So the components of, I'm going to go into, I'll go back to that here in a second. I think I must have not got the slide I wanted in here. All right, I had created a slide that had all of the different enzymes in there, but the enzymes in there are substantial as far as like the different types of foods that it can break down. So there's an enzyme that will break down sugars, that will break down carbohydrates, that will break down proteins, that will break down vegetable fibers and things like that. It's a very well-rounded enzyme that contains, it also contains some betaine HCl, so it helps with the hydrochloric acid in the stomach as well, just to get things going. Now, the recommendation for TerraZyme is to take 1 capsule of TerraZyme with meals, and it's best if you take it before you start eating. But if you forget, you can always take it with the meal or even after the meal. If you're having a meal that has a lot of processed foods or problem foods, I recommend to take 2 or 3 capsules with that meal. The other thing you can do is take 1 to 2 capsules after dinner. When you do that, you're able to help your GI system complete digestion and help with the overnight detox of your system. Adding that last dose of the day has been really helpful for me. I find it very helpful to get that little extra dose in there. All right, so then the next thing is making sure that your gut bacteria is balanced. So if you've got balanced gut microflora, you've got a healthy immune system, things are working really good. When things are not in balance, it can lead to pathologies like autoimmune disease, allergies, metabolic disorders, and then, you know, a weakened immune system. So we want to make sure that our microflora is balanced. And in order to do that, we've got a couple of products that work specifically to do that. So the GX Assist is what I use to weed the garden. GX Assist includes oregano oil. So if you've ever heard of oil of oregano, it includes that, some lemongrass, melaleuca, caprylic acid. All of these things are going to weed out the bad bacteria in the gut. And then to replenish that, you would, after 10 days of that GX Assist, you would follow that with a good probiotic. And PB Assist is an awesome probiotic to be able to do that. If you're doing this weeding the garden and planting the seeds, you would take 3 of these PB Assist each day for at least 10 days following that weeding process. After that, about 1 PB Assist a day is good for maintenance. There are, I think, 5 billion colony forming units in these, and they're unique in the fact that they're double encapsulated. So they get through the stomach acid and do what they need to do farther along the digestive tract. PB Assist Junior contains similar strands, but there are a couple of extra strands that are helpful for kids, but they're also helpful for adults. I didn't line up the detail. I have a tendency to go crazy in the details. Imagine that if you guys know me. So I didn't lay these out side by side, but they do have some different strains of probiotic in them. So honestly, as an adult, I like to take one of the PB Assist Plus, and then I'll take a PB Assist Junior later in the day, or mix it up. It's a good thing to do, especially if you know that you've got some issues in your GI tract. But the PB Assist can be taken by children as young as 2 years old. In fact, Claire has been taking these now, which she loves them. I didn't know how she'd do with them, but they're really good for her, and they seem to help her. Okay, and then Zendocrine is the line of products that helps support the organs of elimination. So this helps with cleaning the bowels, urinary tract, liver, lungs, and skin. And if you've ever heard of anyone saying, you know, you got to open up the bowls, that's what we're talking about. Bowels, urinary tract, liver, lungs, and skin. So you want to keep those open anytime you're doing a detox. And detox is supported then with these oils. So the Zendocrine essential oil blend, which is in this bottle here, I think you guys can see my arrow. It's also the same as the soft gel. So the soft gel is simply encapsulated Zendocrine oil blend, this dark bottle here. And what that is, it contains the tangerine peel essential oil, rosemary leaf essential oil, geranium, juniper berry, and cilantro. And all of those are known for their cleansing and purifying benefits in helping the body just detoxify and get rid of things that it needs to get rid of. The Zendocrine complex, which is in the white bottle here, is a powdered capsule, and it contains these products that are these ingredients that are from herbs. So like barberry root, milk thistle. As you can see, those, I'm not going to read the whole list, you guys can read it there, will support the liver. And then we've got kidney supporting herbs, colon supporting herbs, lung supporting herbs, and then herbs that specifically support the skin. So anytime we're doing a heavy detox or getting ready to do something, this is an excellent product to kind of be the first step in to get going. And we have a program that's called a 30-day cleanse and restore. And if anyone's interested in doing this cleanse, there's a really nice flyer with a checklist that I can send you. But it outlines what you would do to do this. It's recommended to do about every 3 to 4 months. So either, you know, I like to do it with a change of seasons just to kind of keep up with where I'm at with it. But some people, you know, if you're eating really healthy, you may not need to do it that much. If you would do it once or twice a year, it would be fine. But for the most part, I think, you know, I don't run across too many people that are eating as healthy as they should. So the general guidelines for the Cleanse and Restore program is that you would be taking your Lifelong Vitality Pack, so your supplements. You would be taking your PB Assist daily, your TerraZyme with meals, and then your Zendocrine complex with your Zendocrine oil blend. You would take that through a month. And then the GX Assist and PB Assist would be within that month of cleansing with the Zendocrine. So you would start, like the first 10 days would be with the Zendocrine Detox Complex. And then from day 11 through day 20, you would be doing GX Assist. And then day 21 through day 30, you would be really heavy hitting the PB Assist. So instead of doing just 1 PB Assist a day, that's where you would throw in the 3 a day to get your garden seeded again. So then I mentioned before that, you know, you do your general maintenance types of things, and then you still have issues once in a while when you have a problem food that you eat. And the Digest Zen Essential Oil Blend is a perfect blend to have if you've ran into something that is disagreeable for you. I might unmute Lynn. Lynn, would you like to share your food poisoning story if I unmute you? Let me try it here. Can you hit it? All right, there you go.
Okay. And I know some of you have heard this, but when I first got in and learning to be a believer in our essential oils, I had gone to a restaurant that I've gone to many times, and I ordered a dish that I thought would have all the fresh veggies, but they looked like they had scraped off the grill. So I started just getting cold sweats. I started bloating, and it's much lay on the couch, and I thought, oh my gosh, and I could
you guys hear Lynn?
Can y'all hear me?
Now we can hear you.
Lori can't.
I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. I went to a restaurant in town. Do I start over?
Yeah.
And on my way home, I noticed that I had these cold sweats, and my stomach started bloating, and I got worse and worse. And so I laid on the couch, not flat down, but, you know, supported, and just was getting anxious. Okay, I'm going to be sitting here for a while.
Oh, it's not working, Lynn. It's not working.
Then you tell it. You know it.
So Lynn was having a pretty bad reaction to the food she ate at the restaurant, and she ended up using the Digest Zen. Lynn, did you take anything else other than the Digest Zen? No, just
no. I
Digest.
rubbed it on my stomach, and I put 2 to 3 drops under my tongue.
Yeah, and that's the beauty about the oils in the bottle, is that you get the flexibility of using them under the tongue or in a glass of water. I mean, sometimes for me, if I get something disagreeable, I'm suffering from a little bit of gas, if I put it in a little warm water, I find that it is even more effective. I think the warmth of like making it into a tea really is beneficial to, you know, getting things to relax to the point where everything's absorbing and doing what it needs to do. But the soft gels, you know, some people can't handle the taste of it. So that's the beauty of the soft gel, is that it's encapsulated, ready to go. No one has to think about making a capsule, although you can use that oil and open up a capsule and make your own. But some people don't want to mess with that. So the soft gels are ready to go. I think there's about 4 drops worth of essential oil in a capsule. And it's a beautiful thing. So helpful for, as Lynn was saying, the food poisoning sorts of issues, or if you're someone that just has problem foods that have, you know, you can't digest well. My story is, this was the first oil I decided to say, I'm going to kick the tires on these essential oils. I couldn't eat broccoli for a long time. And so I got these oils home and I was all excited, and I said, honey, I'm going to eat broccoli tonight. I have this essential oil that I can take. He said, don't you dare, because he knew how bad I would feel. I said, you know, I want to know if this really helps. And, you know, I took the oil and I never did have that gas and bloating that I almost have every single time I would have broccoli. I mean, I risked it. And then from there on out, I just would take this essential oil anytime I knew I was getting into something I shouldn't have. So it's been a lifesaver for me when it comes to being able to eat healthy foods again, because really it was the healthy foods that were not agreeing with me. You know, I could eat things I shouldn't eat, but I wanted to eat healthy. So for people that are frustrated with that, because I know I'm not the only one out there, you know, you try to make improvements and then you feel defeated because, you know, you can't do this or that. But, you know, adding the digestive enzymes and adding the essential oil blend that's going to help with some of those things when it comes to fresh foods that cause gas can be a lifesaver. And then recently we've added Digest Tab to the line. Generally, I'm not a big fan of like calcium chewable type products. I mean, Tums and things like that. But I do like this Digest Tab. It is like a calcium carbonate tablet. But if, you know, as I've gotten older, I do sometimes have trouble with tomatoes and onions if I have too many of them. And this one will help with those kind of more upper stomach issues, heartburn type feelings. And then other essential oils that we have on the docket now include Tamer, which is a roll-on for kids. So I use this one on baby Claire. She's, like I said, about 2 years old now, and been using the kids oil blends on her, any of the diluted blends. She's my oil baby, and really, really excited to be raising her from infancy with them. The other kids were 4 and 5 years old when I started, so it's been really cool to have them as a tool. But cardamom is a wonderful oil for the GI tract. It's also good for the respiratory tract. It's another herb, and sometimes, you know, we just get bored with things. I know Lynn likes to put the cardamom in her, was it coffee?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just,
And peppermint.
yes, peppermint. And you can never go wrong with peppermint. Your mints, your peppermint, your spearmint, you know, historically they've always been good for soothing the tummy. Same way with ginger. You know, ginger root's amazing. And the essential oil is just a more potent version of that. And peppermint also comes in a handy little beadlet. So you've got something you can just tuck in your pocket. They're just like half a drop of essential oil encapsulated, so you can just pop them in your mouth. Great for freshening breath, but they do help soothe minor tummy issues too if you've got that. But they're super great to keep in your purse, and you know, your older kids it's easy for them to use them too. So just a quick recap. So your GI health relies on a number of factors. Obviously, your healthy lifestyle is number one, making sure that you are eating foods that are going to leave you feeling healthy and living healthy. So eating more of your vegetables, your leafy greens, your fruits, minimizing grains, eliminating gluten. People ask me often is, does everyone need to be gluten-free? And honestly, with the way I think things are in the world of processed foods, I really do think almost everyone needs to be gluten-free, unless for some reason you're in a place where you're starving and it's a matter of life or death. Gluten tends to rip up the belly. Used to be that we would ferment and sprout our grains. So if you must have wheat or gluten, I think an occasional Ezekiel bread or something like that would be okay. But if you want to just lean more toward fruits and vegetables and healthy meats, lean meats, fish, healthy fish, things like that. And then, just supplementing with good supplements. So if you find your food-based supplements, you take your good probiotics, you eat your probiotic foods like kefir and kombucha and sauerkraut and things like that. It's going to help your gut in amazing ways. So I think everybody online right now is currently a member, but just a reminder, I think someone might be watching this later. There's 3 ways to purchase the oils. Retail, it's the most expensive. Most people only buy it retail off of a shelf if they go to their massage therapist or something like that. The second way is to get the oils wholesale. And it's a lot like Costco with doTERRA. You just pay a $35 membership fee, and then with every order you get 25% off retail. And then the third way is if you start with a kit, you're waiving that $35 fee, the fees waived with the kits, and then going forward you get the option of ordering monthly. And when you order monthly, you get additional discounts. And I'll go into that in a minute. So these are just a couple examples of our enrollment kits that are below wholesale. There's additional discounting on them, which is why we say that they're below wholesale. So the Healthy Habits Kit includes a lot of the things we talked about tonight. So your Lifelong Vitality Pack, your enzymes, probiotics, and then some oils to try on the side. And then the Healthy Start Kit has a really nice sampling of your 10 basic oils and a diffuser. The Simple Solutions Kit is a great kit because it's kind of got 3 basic, very common, very popular oils, and then you can add on additional things. So if you've got specific items that you want, that one's a great way to go. The Healthy Essentials Kit is a bigger kit. It's got the bigger bottles and a bigger diffuser with some of our most popular oils, and it includes the new adaptive oil, which is great for mood balancing, uplifting. Right now we've got so much stress going on in the world. The oils in the adaptive are meant to help uplift and balance moods and neurotransmitters in an aromatherapy setting. And then copaiba is another thing that's in that one that's kind of new to our top 10. And copaiba is awesome because it works on pain relief in the endocannabinoid system. So it works kind of in the same realm as some of the CBD oils, but it's not from hemp or any of that product. It's from the copaiba tree, I think in Brazil, isn't it, Lynn?
Yeah.
It's in the Amazon rainforest somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, the copaiba is great for someone that is considering using CBD or uses CBD and would like to find something a little more affordable. It's a great anti-inflammatory. All right, so here's how. Yeah.
Kathy, could you go to the slide just before that last slide?
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to take a picture of it.
Okay. Hang on, let me. Previous, there it is. This one?
Yes. No, the next one. Sorry.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can send you that flyer too.
Thank you.
And all of these, you know, when
Oh,
I'm talking about these, I can send these as flyers, and if you're interested, I can send the whole presentation as a PDF after the fact. So, you know, message me or message Lynn if you're interested in that.
I know Jill would because she just got here.
Oh, is she on?
She's on, Joanne's on,
Oh, great.
Roxy, Mel.
Wonderful. Yeah, I didn't see them pop on, so I'm glad you can see them. Welcome, guys. Okay, and then how you would get your oils for less than wholesale is when you are ordering on a monthly basis. So ordering on a monthly basis will get you percentage back in product credits. So when you start out, for the first 3 months, you get 10% back. The 3 months after that, you get 15%. Then 3 months after that, 20%, all the way up to 30% after you've been doing this for a year. And you just have to order a minimum of $50 to get that percentage back. And a lot of people are on the Lifelong Vitality Pack. And when you order the Lifelong Vitality Pack on the LRP, you also get to do some add-ons for reduced cost. And so there you have, we talked about in the presentation, the doTERRA and the PB Assist, which are great for the digestive tract. You can get that at a significant discount. So that's how most people will order those products and kind of keep themselves on a good, healthy regimen there. And I don't know if you guys know this, starting last year, the year before, there are several different kind of tailored kits that are kind of ready to go where you don't have to think, and it includes things specific to that. So I think there's like a sleep kit and then an immune system kit. Well, this is the digestive kit. So I thought I would highlight that tonight. It's got the doTERRA, the PB Assist Junior, and the PB Assist Regular. And then it comes with the beadlets, the DigestZen soft gel, and the DigestZen roll-on. So it's kind of like, I don't have to think about it. I need digestive help. You just add to your LRP.
Nice.
So yeah, I do. I like that too.
Yeah.
So I am going to, I think this is it. Yes, I'm going to stop the recording and then
There.
open it up for questions, because I know I had people coming in at the last minute, and if anyone needs